Well, let's move on here. I want to talk about Devondre Campbell of the 49ers. To set the stage, so he was our linebacker. You have the biggest game of the year.
He started all year.
And you have Dre Greenlaw is coming back, who's one of the best linebackers in the league. He comes back, so he gets his spot.
Top 10 for sure.
Yeah, he gets his spot back naturally, like anybody would. He goes out there, gets himself nicked up because he hasn't played in a while, and he comes out, and they go to put Campbell back in, and he says, "No, I ain't playing. I don't want to play today," and then walks off. Now, I'm going to tell you, after that happened, if you watch that game in the third quarter, this is a must-win game for the 49ers. In the third and fourth quarter, they started running the ball with more and more success. The game is basically a one-possession game. It's a close game. Anything can happen. And that did make a difference. And they're running the ball right. When Greenlaw was in there, they weren't getting the runs. And it doesn't mean that Campbell would or wouldn't, but he quit. And here's the thing. I just want to think about this for a second. I don't know what he's going through. And if he's going through something, I hope he gets better or whatever. But he quit. Here's what the 49ers have going on. They've got a player that has been playing on a fractured ankle. They've got a player that was out there that had lost their 15-month-old child. They have another player on their team that has lost two children with Trent Williams right at birth that is struggling, okay? And you're going through the emotions and said and recognized, whether it's health or whatever, I'm not ready to be there right now. You have player after player, they're doing everything they can, and you won't play because your feelings are hurt because a player came back and took your position that everyone in the NFL knows is the right decision. That is unbelievably selfish, and it could have it hindered their opportunity for a potential playoff. They're just getting healthy. Whether they'd have made it or not, we don't know, but the fact that he did it, he's done. Now, the 49ers just today did something that was really, really smart. They were talking about releasing, and they didn't release. And I thought they kind of made it sound like they were going to release him. They ended up suspending him, which is really smart because if they release him, he gets all his money.
Yep.
They're suspending him without pay for 3 games, happens to be 3 games left in the season, and then he's gone. And he deserves that. And I hope, for his sake, he should go and face the team. And I don't think the team will probably take him and want him, but he should go and face it and say, what I did was wrong. I was in a bad place. And there should be some apology. I've heard nothing from him. I don't know where he's at. I feel for him because he's had a career to make the NFL. You're an exceptional athlete, and he's absolutely destroyed his name.
Yeah. So like
in one moment.
Two things to kind of note. One is as you're walking off the field and everyone's taking pictures, you should probably think of at least some good excuse to tell somebody.
Yes.
Right? Like
yes. My shoulder.
There was no. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't even have to necessarily lie. If he just comes out and says, "Listen, I'm being 100% honest with you guys. I just wasn't in a good headspace."
Yeah.
That is 10 times better than walk off the field, no post press conference, nothing.
Nothing.
And now you're left with everyone just saying, well, he didn't want to play because he's a big crybaby.
And if you're not in a good headspace, you need to say before the game.
Yeah.
To quit during the game is horrible.
But even during the game, we're such an accepting society these days that if he would have come out and just said something along the lines of, listen, I thought I was good to play. When the game started, I soon realized that I just wasn't in a good headspace, and I wasn't all there. I wasn't. Honestly, I think we're accepting enough of a society today that people would have been like, okay.
I think
everybody gets their one moment.
The only thing is, I don't think anybody would have given him a moment. I think when you decided to suit up, and things are on the line, and you have a player that's a cornerback that's out there and lost his 15-month-old child. And he's there, and you've got your linebacker that's right next to you is playing on a fractured ankle, and you've got so many different things. And if you say I'm not at a good headspace, I think people in that football organization, yeah, they could be more, and I think speaking would help. But in the end, he quit on himself, he quit on his team, he quit on the fans, and I think it's ridiculous. And I've heard nothing from him.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me tell you why I think him saying something would have made a difference. The guy is 31 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He just got his first opportunity to become a starting linebacker in the NFL this year.
Yep.
He doesn't have much of a career left.
No.
Let alone after what he's done now.
Yeah, he's done.
I think with the season that he put on tape this year, if he comes out and says something, you might have not won the eagerness of fans.
Yeah.
But he might have won an opportunity to go out and prove himself on another team somewhere else next year.
Yeah.
With him not saying anything and the story that's being portrayed about him here and now,
Yeah.
I don't see him going to another football team and
No.
another football team giving him a chance at 31 years old.
Yeah.
He's not a young buck anymore.
No.
At 31 years old, he's now not going to get that other opportunity he probably deserves. He's probably worked his whole life for.
And you have Kittle, who's one of the best teammates, nicest guys, most free, and Kittle's like, I don't want anybody around me like that ever again.
Yeah.
And he just blew it. And I feel for people that in the moment, I mean, that's why you got to check yourself sometimes. And you got to sit there and say, you know what? If I'm going to protest or I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it in the right way when I'm in the right state of mind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to make an emotional decision on stage in front of everybody right now. You got to learn to control yourself. And part of it is, I don't know if it's the entitlements that we have these days. I don't know what it is, but it's like he didn't feel, it's like he felt like I shouldn't have lost my starting job. And frankly, to be quite honest with you, he was okay. I mean, he was okay. That's it. He's not Greenlaw. Greenlaw's great.
Yeah.
Greenlaw's a really, really good.
That's the thing is what you guys missed a lot this year on defense was a Greenlaw.
Yes.
You guys missed that culture that a Greenlaw brings.
Yep.
See, like a C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah.
He's by far not one of the best safeties in the league, but I wouldn't replace him in our secondary for nothing because he brings an attitude and a culture that you don't replace.
There is a passion and an energy, and it's a fire you up type of thing.
Yeah.
It's an all out. And anyway, I hope you get your act together, Camp. I hope something comes from this, but you blew it.